Scorpio. Welcome to Pandora Astrology's monthly horoscope for October of 2021. We are the astrologers of Pandora Astrology. I'm Jamie Kale Miller. I'm in Berkeley, California.
And I'm Julia Mijas in San Francisco.
Well, hey, Scorpio, if this is your sun sign and you're not watching your rising sign horoscope right now, which I do recommend that you do, but if this is your sun sign, then your birthday is coming up really fast. A birthday solar return reading is absolutely the best way to kick off your year, knowing what is coming and being ready to live into it and align with it in the best possible way. If you want to have a great conversation with your greater self, the best way to do it is to be in alignment with your solar returns themes. So you can find a link for a solar return birthday reading in the YouTube description below. Well, we've got activity of Venus and a Mercury retrograde to talk about. Lots of movement from your house of the hidden into your house of the very visible. And Julia's going to get this started. Hey, Julia, what's up for Scorpio this month?
Ooh, well, hey, Scorpio. I'll begin with Venus. Venus is the planet of beauty. She's the planet of relationships. And wherever she is in our chart this month is going to show us where we find the most pleasure. So Venus starts the month in the sign of Scorpio. So that's your first house. And she's going to be there for the first week of the month. So this is a wonderful time if you need to do anything to beautify your appearance at all, like get a new haircut, get a tattoo. It's also a wonderful transit for all the single Scorpions to get out there in the dating scene because it's the first week is going to be a wonderful time of making a good first impression on people, and we can definitely use that when we're dating. Then on October 7th, Venus is going to move into your second house of finances. So this is a wonderful time the rest of the month onward. If you have to sort of negotiate any financial transactions with anybody, it can be a good time to expand business a little bit as well. And Venus in the second house also just loves to shop. So this is a wonderful, for the rest of the month, if you especially buy anything Venus related, which might be beauty items, luxury items, artwork, you're going to enjoy those things for a very, very long time because Venus will add a little luck to them. Then I want to talk about Mercury, because Mercury starts the month retrograde in your 12th house. The 12th house can be a little bit of an isolated place, a little bit of a tricky place. And with Mercury retrograde here, well, 12th house, traditionally it's understood as the house of self-undoing. So with Mercury retrograde, it could mean, especially in your communications, because that's what Mercury represents, if you're not being straightforward, if you're not being honest, then, you could bring about a little bit of undoing over that. So try to be as beyond reproach in how you communicate with other people, and that should certainly help things out. Then October 9th is a very, very important day because Mercury and the Sun will be exactly conjoined each other. We call it Lesser Epiphany Day. So it can be a very, very good time to make some sort of revelations, especially on 12th house matters. This is a spiritual house. This is also the house of the subconscious and the house of altruism, charity. So those could be areas where you have a certain revelation during that time period. Then by October 18th, Mercury is going to finally turn direct. And then, slowly over the week, it's going to get out of that shadow period. And all of these little issues are going to be straightened out, which is really nice. And the last planet I want to mention here is Mars, because Mars is going to spend the majority of the month in your 12th house. By October 30th, it's going to move out of there, but it's pretty much in here for most of the month. So Mars is the planet of action. It's the planet of activity. And the 12th house, again, is a very, very secluded house. So you could prefer to kind of do activity on your own instead of in a team context during this time, especially if in your career, if you can work on projects on your own, that might actually work out a lot better. And Mars in the 12th house, because Mars can represent our anger, can have a lot to do with maybe not expressing our anger appropriately, maybe bottling it up too much until we blow up at the wrong person at the wrong time, or maybe passive aggressiveness, which is really not helping our situation out. So with Mars in the 12th and also that Mercury retrograde in the 12th, be careful about conflicts with other people, maybe not, especially a little bit careful with your words, and everything should work out.
Yep. And Mars is going to leave Libra and move into Scorpio where it loves to be, but that's really at the tail end of the month. And I think you're going to say a lot more about that in next month's horoscope.
That's true.
So long about October 6th, we have the first of this month's two moons. It's a moon in Libra conjunct the sun, so therefore it's a new moon. And Mars is hanging out for this. This is a pretty complex moon involving an opposition to Chiron, but also some harmony with Juno and Ceres. And we've said quite a bit about it in the video about it on our YouTube channel, Pandora Astrology, in the October 2021 news playlist. But I just want to bring it down to earth for you specifically, because this moon is likely to bring up some emotions around the things that Julia was talking about with Mars in the 12th house, such as passive aggression, such as feeling like maybe what I want isn't okay, and so I shouldn't push for it, but I want it anyway. What do I do? Those kinds of things involving, like, hidden emotions or emotions that are just too tender and vulnerable to share. So I think that a lot of that stuff is going to come to surface. We're calling this one Making Peace with Adversaries, because of the adversarial quality of Mars and also Chiron in Aries. So check out the recording that we made about it to find out more about it. But suffice it to say, some stuff may come up from your deep hidden psychology. And also it might happen in the workplace, and that's because Chiron is there. There might be somebody who's angry and wounded in your workplace, and you get into some kind of a conflict of wills with them. And fortunately, you've probably got some networks that will help you sort it out. But it's definitely a challenging moon. The other moon is, as always, about 2 weeks later. And it is the full moon on October 20th. And you can see it right here. The sun falls in the 12th house, as it did before, and the moon falls in the 6th house. This time, the moon is in Aries, and Mars is again involved. So this one also has a bit of a feel of combat. We're calling this one Negotiate Strongly, Then Let Go. And we're calling it that because of the involvement of Pluto. Pluto just brings this note of power and control games when it enters into a very emotional, even adversarial situation like this hot-headed moon in Aries versus a willful but perhaps somewhat oily or saccharine Mars in Libra. And Pluto, again, just wants what is wanted and might be willing to do just about anything to get it. So there's a point at which, when you're involved in these kind of negotiations with people who are, extremely committed to what they want, just to the very living end, perhaps the end of life, actually, I think it's just really important to put out there what you want and do your best to get it. And then at some point, just recognize that there's only so much control that you can have, and let go at that point. That's when the miracles can happen. Okay, then the last thing I want to tell you about is that we have a seasonal change coming on the 22nd, late day, when the sun moves into Scorpio. This is the third of the signs that bring us the harvest, beginning in Virgo, the separating of the wheat from the chaff, Virgo's themes of discernment and creating order, followed by Libra with its beautification, its cool, icy beauty, and all of the falling, of further plants and so forth. And then getting into Scorpio, which is the killing season. It's the season of butchering of animals and putting away meats for the winter. So this is a sign absolutely having to do with life and death. It's a sign of metamorphosis and transformation. So get ready for that season to go inward, to look at yourself in a deeper way. And you being the sign of Scorpio yourself, the sun will be entering into your first house. And that's good news. It's leaving that unconscious realm of the 12th house and entering into the first house where, frankly, you have the opportunity to be more shiny. And I just think that's fantastic. You know, sometimes a Scorpio just has to come out and be seen. And this is a really great time to do that. And you might notice that people appreciate you more than you think, and that people see you a little better than you realized, and that you do have shine. And it's a wonderful thing to experience when your birthday month is coming on. Okay, Scorpio. Well, hope you enjoyed that. You will find this horoscope video along with your rising sign video, which you should absolutely check out, on our website, pandoraastrology.com, where you can find horoscopes in the navigation bar, and you can also get readings and you can take classes. And until next time, we'll see you around the cosmos. Bye-bye.
Bye.